Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dinner for Two. This is a special episode, though. You know, we're on episode 3 of a 4-part series called What About Your Friend? I want you to think about that question when I ask it. You know, we think about the song, What About Your Friend? Yeah, all of that. You want me to sing? I know you do, but I'm not. So I know we talk about it all the time, and we call people friends. We talk about what that language means. We are now getting a little, as a society, we're kind of coming a little closer to figuring out really how to walk down the path of friendship in ways that are healthy for both you and the person that you're in relationship with. So with that being the case, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the next episode, episode 3 of What About Your Friends? And I am here with my friends. What about them? What about them? I'm here with my friends, and I am happy that I have these two ladies in my life. There are lots of people that I know. There are lots of people who are around me. I have a lot of acquaintances, but it's very seldom that I use the word friend. And when I use it because it's intentional and because our relationships are important. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce my friends, or I'm going to let my friends come back to you and let you know that they're back. Let's go. How about it? Come on in here, Crystal. Come on in here, Shy.
I'm Crystal. Welcome. Glad to be back.
Yes, Shy, I am happy to be here today, and I look forward to this conversation.
Awesome. So, and look close now. You see Shy has on her Shy Singleton insurance shirt. So understand that Shy is she's over there smiling like she is shy. But one of the things that I love about Shy is that she is always on brand.
Always.
Always on brand, always on point. And that gives you the consistency that you're always looking for, that you look for in relationships. So tell us a little bit about that insurance company, Shy.
Well, when I retired in 2015, I opened an Allstate insurance agency, and I am agency owner and principal. I had owned my Allstate for 6 years. I sold my Allstate and opened an independent agency, which is Shy Singleton Insurance. And upon opening that independent agency, I actually bought an agency that was located on Edgewood, which was Mr. Smith's agency. I bought his agency, merged it with mine, and now I'm an independent agent, and I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do.
She does.
I do. It's like it is my true calling. I was a principal and an educator for 25 years because I had to take care of my children and my family.
Yeah.
But this is what I do for me.
Yes. I love that. I love the fact that you said this is what you do for you.
Absolutely.
And we see that. We see that. We see, I mentioned before, when you say insurance, she perks up.
I do. My agency is located at on Old Middleburg Road, 2656 Old Middleburg Road. If you need personal lines insurance or commercial lines, we write it all.
All right. Good for you. And that's Jacksonville, Florida, too, by the way, y'all. It's in Jacksonville. However, if you're in the state, she can write your insurance. So don't get stuck on location. Don't get stuck on location. And then, in Crystal, you are back. And I appreciate you being back. So Crystal is, again, I'm taking a moment to do this at this time because I realized last time we told you kind of what we did before, but not really what we're doing now. And I wanted to bring that to the forefront when we started this conversation. So, Crystal, tell us a little bit about Mix and Mingle Market.
Yes, Mix and Mingle Market is my baby. That's my boutique I've had since 2008 and was basically operating part-time base as it fit in around my schedule as an educator. But after retiring after 30 years, that's my full-time joy now, with individual appointments, virtual shopping pop-ups, pop-up parties.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of it all, individual styling sessions. So that's my full-time gig.
Good. And she is excellent at that. I love walking into the boutique because there's always something there that I said I wasn't going to buy that I end up picking up. And it's
the goal.
I know.
And if you see any boss accessories on this podcast, I'm pretty sure we purchased them from Mix and Mingle Market.
I'm pretty sure.
So you will not see anything like this in a Dillard's or in a store. It's all individual.
Yeah, I love the fact that she takes the time to be intentional again about the things that she brings into her shop or that you bring into the boutique, and then how you're intentional about connecting with the people who push your brand. So, yeah, I appreciate that. And again, it's right back to intentionality. And if you're intentional in these kinds of things, you should certainly be intentional in your relationships, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
So let's get into this thing. Thank you so much, ladies, for allowing me to run down that road really quick, because a lot of times I've gotten comments and things as people have been watching the other episodes, and they're like, oh, I think I know her. Or, oh, what did she do? Whatever. So I wanted to take a minute to do that so we could have that moment with all of you. So I'm going to start with this. There is a portion in the book. You haven't gotten it? Why? Why not? But anyway, there's a portion in the book, and let me go to it. Actually, I could just read it from here. Many women mistake shared history for shared destiny. Just because someone walked with you in one season does not mean they are equipped to walk with who you are becoming. Loyalty should never require self-abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
So when I read that, or when I say that, what comes to mind for you?
An over-reliance on nostalgia.
Ooh, I love that. Okay. An over-reliance on nostalgia. Okay. All right. What else?
Just because something's been in place,
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes we can give too much credit to the past, put too much weight on it,
Got it.
as opposed to just letting it be what it was,
Mm-hmm.
and not trying to make past and present coexist.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Often we do that. And I think we sometimes hang on to things too long.
Out
Yeah.
of comfort,
Yeah.
familiarity.
Yeah. And fear of not having.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fear of not having something. I think we talked about once before, we get so comfortable with company
Right.
that we sometimes miss the comfort of the relationships. We're comfortable with company, and we don't realize how critical it is for us to have closeness. So we separate those things just because it's convenient.
We
Right.
compromise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's convenient. It's convenient. So I think many of us don't realize we're protecting kind of worn out friendships or worn out relationships, or we're holding them so close to our hearts as though it means that we have somehow lost something if we don't have those people or we don't have those things. Let's talk about that for a second. Now, I know Crystal doesn't have this problem, and Shy, you probably don't either. I know you don't. But have you ever purchased like gifts for people just because you're supposed to? Like you just feel like you're supposed to?
Well, you're right. I don't have that problem because I don't. Like I'm a person that if it doesn't connect with me, I'm not going to do it because of the action. Because I believe when you're doing things out of expectation, it doesn't mean as much.
Right.
So I'm
that.
the type of person, I like to travel. And you guys know I like to travel. I'll solo travel in a minute. And amongst, when I'm traveling, if I see something and it connects with my heart, like I may see something, I say, that's Kathy. Or that's my daughter. Like I'll purchase it. But for the sense of just doing it, no, I don't think so. Because it puts an expectation on that person to accept it and love it. And that's not fair to them.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great perspective. I never thought about it from the perspective of what it does to the other person.
What it does to the other person.
Yeah.
And it also sometimes make people feel uncomfortable if you're always bringing and you're just not bringing you, but you're bringing things. It's almost a barrier between the honesty of who you are.
I love that. That's good. I thought about thinking about that, and yeah, I don't have that problem anymore either. I had that problem. I don't have that problem.
We grow, we learn.
Yeah, we grow, we learn, we change. So, Chris, what do you think about kind of the patterns of relationships that are not necessarily useful anymore? They're not useful patterns. They're just patterns. What do you think when people get caught up in those kinds of cycles, a cycle of relationship?
The first thing that comes to mind is a poor use of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're in a season of growth, whether it's personally, professionally, growth takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And we all operate with the same 24 hours
That's right.
each day.
Absolutely.
No one
right.
gets any more time
Right.
than anyone else. And if you're making room for things out of obligation,
Yeah.
comfort, familiarity, nostalgia, whatever you want to call it, where's your growth time?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
There's no room left to develop you
Mm-hmm.
and to grow into your purpose if you're constantly scheduling or just randomly allowing things that don't hold value and don't contribute to your purpose.
Gotcha.
So I think it has to begin with, what are you trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish? Something has to drive the cart.
Mm-hmm.
And if the objective, I think sometimes we're not honest with ourselves about what our objective is.
Right.
Sometimes the objective is, I just want to be available for everyone.
Yeah. No, I don't have that. That's not in my spirit.
And sometimes people may not admit to that, but if you look at what they're actually doing and allowing, that is their objective. They're trying to be available for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do that at the expense of your own health, safety,
sanity, all of it.
all
sure.
of those things. So
sure.
I think you just have to really figure out, what are you trying to do?
What are you trying to
with your
accomplish?
life?
Yeah.
What are you really trying to do?
Yeah, and not just with this moment, but with your life.
Yeah.
Like, where are you
and
going?
make decisions that align with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also helps you to say no.
Mm-hmm. Well, I always said, it's always been my thought that if you know what you're standing for, you know what not to fall for.
Right.
And if you know what your values are, it makes decision making easy.
Very easy.
It's very easy. Once you have laid out, once you have decided, these are the things that are important to me, and you're honest about that. And you got to be honest about it, because sometimes, people want you to think that your kids are like the most important things in my life. I do everything for them. Well, you haven't done anything in 20 years. So if you, do you really do it for your kids? Right. So when you're honest with yourself about really what's important, it makes it easy for you to say no. It makes it easy.
I also think some of that is self-reflective, because sometimes we say we do it for other people, but we're doing it because we don't want to be alone with us.
That's right.
Like, let's just be real.
Yes.
And the honesty doesn't come from so much of what you do for others. The honesty is, you need to reflect on yourself. If you have to be busy all the time, I would say 9 times out of 10, you don't like being with you.
You don't like you, or you're scared of what you're going to tell yourself.
That part.
When you're alone. Yeah. So, and that's real. That's real, because there are a lot of people who they can't stay in their silence.
They can't stay in their silence.
They can't sit in it. They can't sit in the silence. It's hard to sit in silence when you are afraid of what you might hear. And
so then you end up being available for everyone.
Everybody.
Exactly.
Everyone. You go to the shower, the baby shower, the bridal shower, the wedding. Whatever.
Right.
You volunteer to, I'll pick it up for you. I'll bring it to you. I can do
Lord.
that. All of those things.
I used to do a lot of that. I did.
And it keeps.
Oh man.
It feeds avoidance.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot. I used to be super, super, super busy with, and I'm busy now, but I mean super busy with everybody's stuff. And I just decided at one point, you know what? Everybody else is fine. And I'm tired. I'm in the hospital. I'm broke down. I'm having all kinds of things. And I'm still trying to handle stuff for other people. And they are fine.
And I think it goes back to what Shai was saying about bringing those gifts, because sometimes that gift you give is time.
Yeah.
They're not always tangible
gifts.
But did the other person ask you for it?
Right.
Right.
And are they ready to receive
sometimes
that?
they didn't ask you to volunteer to do that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't ask you to be
Mm-hmm.
there.
Right.
And because if someone's feeding that avoidance
Mm-hmm.
nature of being alone,
Mm-hmm.
not having to sit in their silence, sit with their stuff, sit with
Right.
those thoughts, you volunteer, but the other person's
Right.
I never asked
Like,
for
why are
that.
you
Right.
here?
Why are you here?
Why are you
Why are you
here?
here? Like, oh,
Why
that
are
was
you
nice.
here?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you
But
here?
honestly, they didn't. And then that brings about the disappointment when someone doesn't react
Correct.
Yeah.
the way they're not over the
Right.
moon about the gesture. Well, guess why? They never asked.
They didn't want it.
They
Yeah,
didn't
it
want
wasn't something that they
Yeah.
needed and or wanted, and maybe it was something that you felt was important. And that was another lesson that I had to learn. It was a hard one. Is that some people are comfortable in what makes me uncomfortable, but it's not my seat to sit in.
It's not your walk.
It's not my seat to sit in. So I don't need your chair to be comfortable. I need my chair to be comfortable. And if you're comfortable sitting in your chair, then I have to let you have that. I got to be okay with that. There was something that was here. It says sometimes distance doesn't begin with disagreement. It begins with comparison. Growth exposes insecurity, and suddenly your evolution feels like betrayal to someone committed to the version of you that felt safest for them.
Oh, yes.
So often we run into situations where there's a version of you that people are comfortable with, and you're no longer that person.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're trying to hold you to a standard that you don't fit anymore. They're trying to hold you to something that you don't. It's not even a place you desire to be anymore. And they don't know how to make that transition. How do you handle that in relationships? How do you handle that in friendships? How do you handle it in relationships, period?
Well, I would say, coming from a situation where I was married at 16, and I stayed married
For a long time.
for a very, 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 very long time.
Yes.
So who you are at 16 is not the same person you are at 32
Exactly.
or 42
Exactly.
or 50.
I gotcha.
So
Gotcha, for sure.
with that transition, what I found was, one, it affected my friendships. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're taught to stay in a marriage because of your family
Yes.
and because of the word of God and all that stuff, which is it's awesome. I mean, you have to work out things. But a marriage and friendships and boyfriend and girlfriends, those are different dynamics of a relationship.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you cannot have one standard
Right, for sure.
across all of them. I had to learn that the hard way.
Yes. Yes.
I also had to learn what you put out in the universe is what you're going to get back. So if you have that expectation of a person, because that's what you're reflecting on them, you're going to get it back. And when the relationship is uncomfortable for you, and you can fit in your face, you're saying it's not uncomfortable, but your behavior, your actions, your words, projecting the uncomfortableness, it's going to come back.
Everything speaks.
It comes back, and then you feel like it comes back in, oh, that person changed, or oh, that person never loved me, oh, that person didn't do this. But it was really what you were putting out instead of just being honest, saying, this doesn't make me feel comfortable anymore. I need to move on.
Yeah, this doesn't make me feel
Or
good.
I have to break away. We are so afraid to tell the truth
Oh, say it. Yes. Yes, for sure.
that we are afraid of being alone. And that truth and that loneliness runs together. But once you decide and you figure out what's best for you and what makes you happy in your core, all the other stuff comes, it comes pretty easy. And you'll be surprised how the person respects and loves you for being honest about your feelings in the first place.
And being authentic.
Yes.
Because all the rest of it is a facade. Once you have decided that that's not how you feel, your pretending feels like pretending.
It feels like
so
pretending.
Now that's when you get things like you're acting different or something's wrong or whatever, but it's because you are. And you may not want to admit that, but the truth is you've shifted.
You shift.
And if that shift is not something if the relationship is not worth navigating that shift, then you need to be okay with that relationship just ending. ending in a different way. Have you ever been in a situation where you realized someone wasn't really upset with you, they were more upset with your growth than who you are as a person? They couldn't handle seeing you grow. They couldn't handle seeing you bigger. They couldn't handle seeing you brighter. They couldn't handle seeing you different.
So what stands out to me with that is, first of all, choosing you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you take the leap of choosing yourself, it changes how you respect someone else doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because you understand that process, you understand the courage that takes, you understand the vulnerability that's involved with that. And so when that's a personal experience, I think you can identify it, recognize it, and appreciate that with someone else.
Got it.
And it doesn't, it keeps you from taking everything so personal.
Personal. Mm-hmm.
And you realize it's not about you. This person is just choosing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making the steps and the decisions they need to be the best version of themselves. So what might that look like? We may not do dinner as often,
Mm-hmm.
or we may not talk as often, or those things, but it keeps it from being a negative. And choosing yourself is not a negative thing.
No, it's definitely not.
It's never negative, and something should change.
Yeah, I think the key to that though is, yes, you're absolutely right. Let me say that first. But I think the key to that is being strong enough to have the conversation with the people you're in relationship with. So, because they shouldn't have to suffer as you grow because you're poor at communicating, because you don't communicate that well, or they shouldn't have to feel iced out because you aren't strong enough or willing. I won't even say not strong enough, but yeah, some of it is not strong enough, but sometimes just not willing to have an honest conversation with the people that you're around, and have an honest conversation with the people who are accustomed to doing relationships with you, being in a relationship.
But I also think for those people who are, we're talking about real friends.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Real friends. I also think for the people who are really your real friends, sometimes a conversation isn't needed.
Correct. That was going to be my response.
It's not needed. I think yes, we owe it to each other to be honest, to communicate.
Yeah, that was my point.
But I think the over explaining and those sorts of things, I think for those real friends,
yeah,
like I know you, I get you, I know
where you're going.
and I know that. So
yeah,
if you're quiet or something, I may check it, but it's not. I don't take it personally.
yeah. No, I don't think. I want to be clear. I definitely don't want to say taking it personally, because that's not what I mean. I think that if you have made a decision that you no longer want to be in relationship with someone,
Gotcha.
that you owe them, especially if they're your real friends, or someone that you are really connected to, I feel like you owe it to them to be honest with them about that. No one should have to figure it out because they feel funny, or figure it out because you're acting different, or figure it out because something's happened. I think you put people in a position where they feel like, what did I do wrong? When sometimes it has nothing to do with you doing anything wrong. It's just the person growing and the person shifting or changing or shifting priorities. So that can happen a lot. I think when we get stuck is when we expect the familiarity to be the reason why we should accept being treated differently. I don't think that those two things necessarily align. I think that at some point there should be a conversation that says, and I'm not talking over-explaining, because your real friends, you don't need to over-explain. But I do think if people are accustomed to you being a certain way and then you're just not that anymore, that there should be some sort of, again, I'm talking about with real friends, people that you're doing life with. I think there should be some conversation around, what does that really mean? What does it mean? So people aren't left in the dark feeling as though she just started doing something different and now I don't know and nothing for me has changed. So I think we have to be honest with the people that we're in relationship with as well. Not to a point where, again, we're over-explaining. I agree with that. I don't think you have to over-explain it, but I do think it's fair to say, hey, we've been rocking for a long time, and I'm shifting a little bit beyond what you may think. Because I can see the shift, but then does the shift automatically mean that I'm now outside of your circle? Does that shift put me outside of the space that I've been in? And if it does, then I think that needs to be a conversation. I just think that's fair. Yeah, I just think that's fair. I think that's fair to the person that's there, because you're the one changing. I didn't change.
Right.
So if you're the one changing, you're the one
I just
growing.
think sometimes leaving that space for people to drift, and it's okay if they drift.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It's so.
Yeah.
It's okay, because I guess my thought is, whether they have the conversation with me or not, they're still drifting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't know why, don't want to have that conversation. Maybe they don't feel like they owe me that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But it still lands in the same place of they're drifting. So let it.
What I experienced when I changed careers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use a personal example.
Go ahead.
So when I changed careers, as principals, we flock together.
Yes.
You're in the group. You're the busy black woman. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So
no doubt.
when and you have friends in that group, or you feel you have friends in that group.
Yeah.
But when your life change and it's no fault of your own, and things happen, and you're no longer in that group, and that could be multiple groups. That could be organizations,
anything.
That can be jobs.
Yeah,
that can be
sure.
communities.
For sure.
That can be the married group, because we all have our married friends,
Right?
And then you get a divorce, you're no longer in the married group.
Right. Gotcha.
Those are all dynamics that will shift in life, and it causes people to treat you differently. Now, what happens with that is how you accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Because a true friend doesn't care what your job is.
Right.
They don't care who you're married to.
Exactly.
They don't care if you got whatever.
Right.
Because they see you for you.
Right. For sure.
And when you're having that conversation for a person that never really saw you for you,
right,
you're just wasting your breath.
That's
and you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
And when you approach them, then that's when you get that, ain't nothing, it's not different. You're going to get that defensiveness. And I'm just telling you from my personal experience.
No, I get it. I'm here.
And then when you start really self-reflecting on why that happened, then you see the signs that were there all the time. That, back to what you said before, you were just there because it was constant. It was what you did.
Yeah.
It was the tradition. It was, but the signs were already there.
Yeah.
So it can be on both dynamics of why those relationships shift. And it's not always you're the person that's growing. Sometimes it's you're the person that got knocked back.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why, like, what did I do? It wasn't my fault. It was
right.
But
right. And that's why I said the conversation.
Always there.
That's why I said a conversation is important, because if you care about that person, you don't leave them wondering if it was them. You don't leave them wondering if it was them. You don't leave them wondering what did they do. You don't leave them in that space. You just explained my point.
Right.
That's exactly why I said I think it's responsible you're being responsible and a good steward of a relationship when you can say, here's what's going on with me. And you got to be self-reflective and honest about that. And you may not know why you're drifting, but you know you're changing, and that person shouldn't be left feeling like you just said, well, what did I do? Or, how did I impact this in a different way? And some people you will get you're just gone, you're gone, whatever. You will get that from some people, but some people aren't like that. Some people are in that situation like you're saying, and they're wondering, what did I do to cause this? When, like you said, you thought the relationship was solid. You thought it was.
Why am I no longer being invited to the cookouts?
Right.
Why am I no longer being invited to? Oh, you guys went down to the classic.
Right.
And why I'm no longer getting the invitation.
Right.
Well, you're no longer in the group.
Right. Exactly.
So it was never like anything you did.
Uh-huh.
But how do you have that conversation? Like, how do you say, well, you're just not one of us anymore?
I think you're honest. And I think and again, we're talking about friends. We're not talking about acquaintances. We're not talking about people that you just know. We're talking about people that you've been doing life with. I think in that space, you're honest and you say, you know what, this is shifting for me.
Right.
And because it's shifting for me, I'm doing things a little bit differently, and it may look like this to you. I think you're honest. I think you have to be honest with people. I think you owe that to people that you call yourself in relationship with. So
I think you have to know how you're choosing how to handle that or deciding how to handle that from one of two positions. Either you're the person who's drifting, or you're the person that's the recipient of the drifter.
Yeah.
And so
That's true.
those are two different things, and I think that depends on our personalities and like you said, what you feel you owe the situation or those people, and deciding were you ever really friends,
Right.
because if you never really were, the responsibility of that changes.
It does.
Drastically.
It does. If
but
you
it
never
hurts.
really was. Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
When
no
you
doubt.
when you actually, it creates resentment because you just struck a chord with me, Crystal, when you said when you're the recipient and you don't have that conversation, but you're feeling it,
right,
and you're holding on to it, and you see the person and you're like, oh hey,
right,
but in your heart you like, oh, but you dogged me when I lost my job,
right.
But you never had the conversation to say, well, you just really made me feel bad that you were not there at my lowest point.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's kind of,
yeah,
it's hard to have that conversation.
Yeah, it is hard. It is. Yeah, I'm definitely not saying it's easy by any means. It's definitely, it could be hard. It could be hard. I can say it could be hard. But for me, I just think, and again, we don't have to agree. I just definitely think that there is, I think you owe that to people that you're in relationship with. I think you owe it to them to stop and say, you know what, I understand that you may be experiencing this, and here's why, and it's not you. Because like you said, you walk around carrying, what did I do? What's wrong with me? What happened to me? Especially if you have been in relationship with people and it's always been one where they can just say or do whatever, they say anything else they want to say, but they don't want to say that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what's hurtful. So we dug into that one real deep. Okay. All right. So let's make this practical, because sometimes we feel something is off in a friendship, but we can't really explain why, which is kind of what we're talking about. So here's five signs you're experiencing real friendship and not just familiarity. And I want to share these 5 signs with you. So the first one is you can grow without guilt. So can you grow without guilt? If you can grow, real friends don't punish your evolution. They really don't. They don't worry. They don't apologize. You don't have to apologize for healing, for leveling up, for setting boundaries, for becoming more self-aware. You don't have to apologize for those things. Real friends allow you to grow without guilt. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. If growth creates tension, and I wrote this down, so I'm going to just read it. If growth creates tension instead of celebration, you may be maintaining familiarity and not a friendship.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The next one, honesty doesn't threaten the relationship. Healthy relationships can survive truth. You can say, that hurt me, I disagree, I need space, and the relationship doesn't collapse. If honesty feels dangerous, the connection may be built on comfort, not trust. Ooh. What do you think about that?
I think honesty could cause change. It could cause things to change, though, but I think that's natural.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I tell you how I felt, you tell me how I felt, and we all say, okay, it's all good, and let's go to lunch. No, it may change the dynamic. Mm-hmm. It might. Does that mean it's not a true friendship?
I think if you have to be cautious with truth.
Yeah, I would say that as well.
Yeah, I think if you have to
And
be
I think
cautious with truth.
the how you deliver truth.
Oh yeah, now how is it
Now
definitely important?
that doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to draw blood.
Right. Yeah, it shouldn't.
But could truth cause a friendship to change? I think it could cause any relationship to change.
Yeah, I'm not saying it won't cause it to change. I said it wouldn't cause it to collapse.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what that true. I don't know. I think it would just.
If the truth was, I slept with your husband.
Well, that's
it might collapse.
Yeah, now that's gonna collapse. That's gonna collapse. Yeah, so I'm not
collapsing.
Yeah, so I'm talking. Let me qualify and quantify here. Is what I'm saying. Yes, there are some truths that will end a relationship.
Okay.
But I'm thinking truths about how you're feeling, truths about where you're going, truths about your thoughts. I think you should. Where's your safe space if it's not with your friends? If you can't be honest with them and it not damage your relationship.
I don't know. What I think about that is if you put up those barriers to risking being honest, it's like, okay, then I may hold on to honesty at the risk of you saying this isn't for me anymore. But I think if you're going to be honest, you have to. It involves taking that risk that I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's we're saying the same thing.
When
That's
I
my
give
point.
this honesty.
Yeah.
And it may result in that person deciding this is not for me anymore, or let me back away some, or let me.
I don't
know.
Yeah, I can see that in an extreme. I can see that. I'm talking. You should be able to be honest about what you're thinking or feeling in a relationship, in a friendship, and that's it. I mean, we can go to extremes. Of course, if somebody comes and tells you, I just want to be honest with you. I've been sleeping with your husband for the last 3 months. Yeah, that's going to cause an issue. Yeah. Or if you're saying, you know what, I've never really liked you. You've been, of course, that's going to change the dynamic. Right. So those are, for me, are extremes. I'm talking about just being able to walk into a space and say, you know what, I just need to be honest. This is how I'm feeling.
Gotcha.
And it's safe to do that.
Absolutely.
So I think that if honesty feels dangerous, then you have to ask yourself, what are you afraid of in a safe space? Is it really a safe space? Is it really a safe? Can you be vulnerable?
I would agree with that. I think honesty can feel risky.
Yes.
But should it feel dangerous?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, risky for sure. Sometimes it is going to be risky.
Yes, because you could we have sensitive things like there are topics we may be able to talk about all day, but if I'm telling you about what I think about how you're handling your child,
right
now we're on
different ground.
We're on different ground, so that may be a little more sensitive, or how I think you're handling something. Just something that you hold dear to you. That's a risky moment to share that truth. Now, should it cause the relationship to collapse? No.
Yeah. No. See, for me, I think that I would rather hear that from my friend than I would from somebody in the street.
Absolutely.
So for me, I think those are spaces where you need your friends. You need them to go like, okay, sis, you do realize that she's 12. Like, why are you letting her just run out and go to the club? Like, with these other grown women, like, what do you think is going on? I do think that is where your friends do need to step in, because sometimes if you have blind spots. Absolutely. So I think that kind of honesty, I just think there are degrees to it, but I do think that honesty should always be something that's expected in a relationship. And safety in being honest is something that you should be able to count on with your friends. The next one is celebration feels genuine, not competitive. You never have to wonder, are they really happy for me? Are they really there for me? Because real friendship celebrates without comparison. So how does that feel?
I would ask you to define what you mean comparison.
Comparison. Now, I'm not talking aspiration. I think a lot of times we're exposed to things because it gives us an opportunity to see what we can have. I think comparison is, why she get that when I know she really ain't worked for it like I've been working for it, or those kinds of things. So it ends up being a situation where you now have put yourself into their situation and now have become a victim.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So when you start putting yourself into someone else's, when you write yourself into somebody else's story, it's gonna always feel uncomfortable. Yeah, it's gonna always feel uncomfortable. So when you put yourself in it, instead of just recognizing, you know what, that's good. Like, I love that for her.
Right.
And that's the kind of energy that I want from my friends, is I love that for her. I had no problem saying, y'all talk about your business this morning. Because I love that for you. I love that you're both in spaces that you love being in and that you do it so well. So for me, celebrating that is not a problem. But there are situations where people aren't able to do that. They aren't able to celebrate what you're doing.
Gotcha.
They just aren't. And no matter how much you support them, how much you celebrate them, how much you show up to they're just not able to do it. And when when you run into people like that, you need to be cautious, because if every time you have a celebration or something goes right with you, they have to insert themselves, they have to be a part of the story, and then now they're a victim in the story,
or they're not available for your celebration.
Right? Never
Some
available.
people are conveniently
unavailable.
Right.
Just when it's your time to shine.
Yeah.
And I see it also when they want to recreate your story.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's
you got that.
true.
Well, where'd you get that from?
Right.
Or, just little things like, oh, you bought a Toyota, so, I'm going to go buy a Lexus.
Right.
So
exactly.
that's
it. That's it. Or, it goes back to what we talked about before. I see your little car.
Ooh.
I see
The word little.
Yeah, little. I see your little car. I see your little book. I see your little whatever, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then you have to go one up, or what you consider to be one up. But what you realize a lot of times is the people you're competing with not competing with you.
Correct.
You're in a competition
all,
by
right.
yourself. We're not competing with you. I can assure, I don't even think about you that much. And honestly and truthfully, I really probably don't even remember what you drive. I really don't. I really don't, because it has nothing to do with me. And I've always been the person that says, I love what you got. I love that. But what you have has no bearing on what I can and cannot have. So it doesn't make me want to compete with you for anything. Now I may see something that you like and let you have like, okay, I like that. Like, where'd you get that? I like that, or whatever. That's different for me. I'm not comparing. I like that, and I want one.
Right.
That's different than me saying, oh, so you got the new, you got a Lexus. Gotcha. Bentley it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Dead it is.
Dead it is. Right. Dead it is. Dead it is.
Right.
Dead it is. So that's what I mean when I talk about comparison is, you have to then find a way to one up or find a way to be just as valuable in that space, because you feel like you're being equal to or better than someone else somehow makes you more valuable.
So when you have that situation, are you the person that needs to adjust? Or do you think the person who's doing it or your friend that's comparing themselves to you need to adjust?
They need to adjust.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think that you need to dim your light for other people to shine. I think that when we do that, we've been conditioned to do that for so long that we play down who we are and what we do so other people can feel comfortable. And how then do you expect to continue to be blessed in spaces where you are not happy with your blessing? You're not comfortable standing in the spaces of the blessing that you've received. And when you don't want to do it because it makes other people uncomfortable, I think now that's different than boasting. Let's be clear. So I'm not saying boasting. I'm not talking about, girl, oh, that's all you got? Because I got, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is if my come up triggers you, then we need to figure out why you triggered and dig deeper into that, not necessarily me not being comfortable in coming up.
And see, I think of it as when I see that and I see you're triggered, now I know you're triggered.
Right.
I ain't got to fix you.
Right.
But now I know.
Exactly. That's my point. Mm-hmm.
You're more of in our friend group, you're the person that will always give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let me help them.
Yeah.
And I'm the friend
I used to be that friend. I ain't that no more friend.
Okay. Now I know. I'm a Libra. You just tilted my now I know.
Yeah. So I do. I have done that for a long time, and I still do it to some degree.
But that's your gift.
Yeah. So I do.
You can't walk away from your gift. Her gift is if I need some foo-foo, or I know I need a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I know I can trust Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Help me get to this point. I need this thing.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna find it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what internet it's on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't care where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
If I need to solve a problem,
Mm-hmm.
or I know somebody that needs to solve, she'll talk to you all day long. She gonna talk you through it. She gonna coach you through it. That's her. Me, if you need something done, give me X, Y, Z. I'm gonna get it done.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
But we all have our dynamic traits.
For sure.
And that's
Yeah,
what
for
makes
sure.
us strong.
Yes. And I love the fact that you put the puzzle pieces together, because that's what makes the dynamic strong. Like you said, that's what makes the collective important, is you don't have to be the same. You just have to fit together.
You got to fit
And every puzzle piece is not shaped the same.
at all.
Every puzzle piece is not, but they come together to make the picture. And I think that's what you just described, is the coming together to make the picture beautiful, because we can't all be the same. But
and
we
I
all
believe
have
we
to,
did the work to know who we are.
Yes.
In order to, everybody doesn't want to do the work.
Well, and that's the thing. It gets
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, and that's the hard part. Like you said, sometimes you don't want to sit long enough to be honest with yourself about who you are.
So if the dynamics of the group includes some people who've chosen themselves
Mm-hmm.
and some people who haven't chosen themselves,
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be off.
that's a pretty
Yeah.
messy
Yeah.
cocktail.
Yeah, for sure. So the next one is peace exists when you lead the conversation. So you pay attention to your body. After talking to someone you consider to be your friend, do you feel lighter, supported, or understood, or do you feel drained, anxious, and you're replaying the conversation to figure out, did you do something right? Did you do something wrong? Is that still going to be there? Do you feel like you have to entertain them to keep them? Like those kinds of things. Ask yourself those questions. What are your thoughts on that? Peace is data. I'm gonna tell you, peace is data. So it lets you know where you fit and where you don't.
Absolutely.
I always say if you're in a setting and you need a nap afterwards, that's probably like we've all been there. You can't wait to get in your car. And go up. It's like, I need a nap. Like that was a lot. I need it. If you need a nap afterwards,
That was the best.
it's
that's
time
crazy.
to reevaluate.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, that
where
was a lot.
you spend your time with whom,
Like, ooh,
how
that
often,
was a lot. Ooh, that was a lot. Ooh,
because
you just drained.
shouldn't need a nap.
Yeah, you shouldn't leave friendships drained. You can leave them tired because y'all have laughed and played and all kind of other
we're
stuff.
getting together because this is something we've always done.
Yeah.
But every time I leave that outing or that gathering, I need a nap.
I feel heavy. Yeah. Friendships shouldn't leave you heavy. They shouldn't leave you heavy. Now, you may have heavy moments, but they shouldn't leave you heavy.
That's not choosing you.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. And you can. You have the right to do that. It's time to choose you. You can definitely do that. Number 5 is you don't have to shrink to stay connected. This one right here is important. I think we kind of touched on it multiple times today, but you shouldn't have to dim your light for other people to shine.
Correct.
And you shouldn't have to minimize your wins for them to feel comfortable or for you to feel like they're going to be okay. Or you don't have to edit your joy. You don't have to say, it's all right, when you're actually overjoyed about something. If you have to do that, you don't have an authentic friendship. It makes you really long for spaces where you can show up and be happy and other people are okay with your happiness.
Absolutely.
You shouldn't have to muffle a muzzle.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask this question. Are you maintaining friendships, or are you just kind of living on the memories of a friendship? Where are you in that space? I'm going to ask you to think about that as we close this segment out, Because, you know, it's hard. It's hard when you're in relationship with people and the space isn't comfortable. Choose you. Crystal said it several times. Choose you. We've said it several times. Choose you. And it's okay to choose you. You can do it without guilt. You can do it without shame. You can do it without apologizing. You have to be able to do it, though, honestly and openly, and be able to ensure that you don't leave residue behind. Don't leave things behind that hurt other people. You don't have to hurt people in your transition. You don't have to hurt people in your processes, but you do have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself as you do these things. So with that being said, anything else from you ladies on this episode? All right. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care.